Why does Stanley hate Blanche so much? We need to think about this. Is it because she's from a different class? Is it that because he overheard her calling him an ape? Is it the constant way she's denigrating him? Is it what she represents? Is it the way she's pulled Stella away from him? Why does he hate her so much? It isn't clear and it isn't completely understandable, but it is the draw, the pull of this play that Stanley needs to destroy Blanche, and he has, beneath the surface, behind the scenes, been doing this. And Tennessee Williams has structured this play so that immediately following this hope of Blanche perhaps being saved by Mitch, immediately he comes in for the kill. So it is mid-September. She's been here a few months, almost all summer, and the portieres are open and the table is set for birthday supper with cake and flowers. She's contemplating decorations. It's Blanche's birthday. What's all this stuff for? Stanley comes. But here he does some great things. He mimics, he mocks the way Blanche speaks. What, she washing out some things? Soaking in a hot tub. Her accent, her need for cleanliness, her habits. It seems that she's been bathing all summer. Temperature's 100 on the nose and she soaks herself in a hot tub. So, she takes baths for her nerves. But it is the southern United States. It is boiling hot. And he not only resents her just languishing in the heat, but you run up and get her cokes, serve them to Her Majesty in the tub. He's trying to woo her over to this idea of resentment against Blanche. And he changes take. Look, you gotta sit down. Remember, she's quite pregnant. I got the dope. I got the truth. I got the story on your big sister. She calls me common. So there's class really at play. That resentment as well, again. Stella says, you're just rubbing her up the wrong way. You're fighting all the time. And again, class. You've got to realize that Blanche and I grew up under very different circumstances than you did. We are different. Sometimes Stella's with Stanley, sometimes not. Yeah, so I've been told. And told. And told. And told. He does not like to be reminded that they're from different places. From different places, from different worlds. That, again, that resentment, anger, tension between classes. She's been feeding us a pack of lies, The cat's out of the bag. I found out some things. What things? He suspected, but now he's got proof. He's definitely someone who needs, it's like in scene 2 where he needs the paper, the bill of sale, proof, hard evidence, the real world, body, material. That's Stanley Kowalski. Blanche is singing in the bathroom a saccharine, sweet, popular ballad which is used contrapuntally with Stanley's speech. So contrapuntal is a musical term, and it refers to almost not necessarily an echo. It's like two musical lines that are going in parallel with each other and almost speak to each other and comment on each other. And I think this musical idea is interesting. So while one line, which is Stanley's truth and the tragedy, there's this other line which is going to be in the background, Blanche's singing, kind of punctuating. For me, this is AO2 form. It punctuates the tragedy, her innocence, her unaware, like her being unaware of what she's getting into, what's about to happen. All of that is at play here. Lower your voice. Stella says, she's some canary bird. She's singing. She enjoys singing. But again, Stella's always aware. I don't want her to hear what you're saying. And now Stanley starts revealing, almost like, a Greek tragedy. It's definitely dramatic irony. It's the reveal. It's the painful reveal that comes here. Line number 1. He's really that judicial air that Blanche made fun of him. All the squeamishness she puts on. You should know the line she's been feeding to Midge. He thought she'd never been kissed by a fellow. But Sister Blanche is no lily. Sister, as if she's a nun. The irony, she's no lily, she's no flower. Ha! Some hit lily she is. So it turns out that everyone in Laurel knows about her. She's as famous as the President of the United States. But it's not for the right reasons. He's known because of Flamingo. And now it seems that she's not just been sexually promiscuous, which it seems like she indicated previously to Stella that she needed to be soft and cared for. But I think it's confusing whether she was trying to woo people or was she actually a prostitute. She did, of course, make the joke that she would go to the street. But in this, the Flamingo, okay, here comes the contrapuntal. Say it's only I can't sing. Say it's only a paper moon sailing over a cardboard sea. But it wouldn't be make-believe if you believed in me. Oh, tragic here, right? She just, she believes in poetry and magic, and if you believe in the lie, you can make it true, to quote one of Tennessee Williams' other poems. Well, look, she stayed in the Flamingo, and this is after she lost Belle Reve, and it's a second-class hotel, which has the advantage of not interfering with the private social life of the personalities there. So I think the implication, it's really interesting actually how much people don't say exactly what it is. They're still talking around it. But it looks like you could have whatever kind of sexual life you wanted there. And I think that's interesting not only because of Alan's homosexuality or Tennessee Williams' own homosexuality, this idea that there are these spaces where people aren't observing you. But even here, it was too much. So they wanted her to move out. Even they found it too much, what she was doing. Which is what? I mean, it could be that she had multiple partners, but if it was that kind of place, why would they care? Probably she was doing business. Now, the tricky thing in this play is this is all gossip. And we're put in a weird position, which is how much of it is true, how much of it is fact. Like Stella, there's a core part of it that feels true. And maybe the facts are a little bit off, as Blanche will later contest them when faced with them. But enough of it feels right. It's a Barnum and Bailey world. There are circus people in America, just as phony as it can be. But it wouldn't be make-believe if you believed in me. All we have to do is believe. And believe in her, and it'll be okay. I mean, he's stitching it up. He's really... In the hands of a lesser playwright, this shouldn't work. What contemptible lies. What absolutely disgusting, reprehensible lies. And look, he says, you should be. I get it. She pulled the wool over your eyes as well. Look, pull the wool over her eyes. Cat's out of the bag. I never realized how much cliche. There's so many cliche, these idioms, these worn out idioms that Stanley uses. I never realized. He is so filled with average things to say in contrast to the poetry of someone like Blanche. Well, he's not a wordsmith. It's pure invention. There's not a word of truth in it. Okay? Not a word. It's all lies. And if I were a man and this creature had dared to invent such things in my presence, without your love, it's a honky-tonk parade. Without your love, it's a melody played in a penny arcade. Without love, oh gosh, I never really paid attention to what she's singing. Without love, we don't have anything. We have nothing. I never noticed. Honey, I told you, I thoroughly checked these stories. Now we have a Napoleonic Code here. I have an acquaintance echoing. But, he's looking for proof. He checked. She couldn't put her act on anymore in Laurel. They got wised up after 2 or 3 dates with her and they quit. Now, this is kind of contradictory. Like, so was she trying to seduce? Or was it paid? I don't know. She goes on to another. The same old line, same old act, same old hoey act. We know she plays a role. Is her seduction a role that she plays? So it's going on forever. She's a town character. She's kind of like a lunatic. And loco, Spanish for crazy, nuts. I mean, so now this charge of insanity coming through. And for the last year or two, she's been washed up like poison. Well, that's why she's been here this summer, visiting royalty, putting on this act. But she's practically told by the mayor to get out of town. Yeah. Yes. Did you know there was an army camp out near Laurel, and your sister's was a place out of bounds? So soldiers... It's only a paper moon, just as phony as it can be. But it wouldn't be make-believe if you believed in me. All we gotta do is believe in poor Blanche. Well, so much for her being refined and particular type of girl. Which brings us to lie number 2. So soldiers went there. I guess weren't allowed to go there. Out of bounds means they're not allowed. Soldiers not allowed. Why? Too much sex, prostitution, what? It's not clear. Well, so much for her being a refined and particular type of girl. Well, brings me to line number 2. Stella, I don't want to hear anymore. This reminds me of a Greek tragedy. The truth is being exposed, but not yet to the hero, the protagonist. But the truth is being inflicted on us in a painful and brutal way. Very Stanley. She's not going to teach school. She's not going to go back to Laurel. She didn't resign temporarily. She got fired. They kicked her out. I hate to tell you, a 17-year-old boy she'd gotten mixed up with. It's really interesting for a vulgar guy. He doesn't say it. Oh, she slept with a 17-year-old. So now we move from this accusation of prostitution or loose morals to insanity, to something even more perverse, like sex with a minor. I mean, here, and with her being an older woman too, it just seems creepier. So this actress, I just made a note to myself because I just read this essay about the play, and this actress said that this particular thing about Blanche desiring young people is because she continues to desire Alan. A beautiful, he was stunning by all accounts, just gorgeous, but not feminine looking, poetic, cultured, this young man that she just loves so much. And it turns out he was gay. And so this actress played it very much that Blanche is almost reliving this trauma and continually desiring Alan. And she brought this up to Tennessee Williams. And Tennessee Williams, he's just the playwright, by the way. His interpretation doesn't fix it. But his reinterpretation, I thought, was quite provocative. He said, no, she is Alan. And she's desiring other men as if in the way Alan would. And I just think that, when I read that just threw me around the room, because there's even a greater psychological damage or wound inside Blanche, for which Tennessee Williams conceives of. How much it's evident or how much it plays, that might be a different thing to consider. And again, it's up to you to interpret the play, not to take other people's ideas, even my own. So, in the bathroom, the water goes on loud. Little breathless cries and peals of laughter are heard as if a child were frolicking in the tub. This innocence of bathing, this childishness, it's strange. This constant bathing. What does it mean? What does it say about Blanche? Again, how contrapunctally is it commenting on the action? Here's the main pain, and then, here we have the bathing, and they're occurring simultaneously. This is making me sick. Yeah, me too. It hurts. It's so sad. The boy's dad learned about it and got in touch with the high school. Boy, oh boy, I'd like to have been there when Dame Blanche, always a nickname, the nun, the dame, was called on the carpet. How was she going to lie, squirm, squiggle out of that one? She was on the hook, good and proper, just cliche after cliche. It was practically a town ordinance. She had to get out of Laurel. The bathroom doors open, and Blanche thrusts her head out, holding a towel about her head. This image is important because we're now seeing her completely differently. Is it a comic moment? Is it a tragic moment? I could see it played for laugh. I could see it just hauntingly tragic. These are choices. Stella, yes, Blanche. Give me another towel to dry my hair with. Yes, Blanche. This reserve, acceptance. Oh, it's horrible. She crosses in a dazed way. What's the matter? No, nothing. But Blanche is a good reader of people. Reads her face. Something's wrong. I'm just tired. You should bathe too. She says like a kid. You do it too. It makes you feel better. Stanley, rough, brutal. How soon is it going to be? Possess your soul in patience, she says. It's not my soul I'm worried about. That is fantastic. There you see the difference. That manner, just patience, soul. He's not about the soul. It's his bowels. He has to pee or go to the bathroom. This is Stanley and Blanche. The body, the soul. Williams has really inhabited something here with these characters. He's managed to really embody a conflict that is severe and real and is urgently moving towards a tragedy. How much of a tragedy, though? Goes much darker and I'd say 3 times as harsh as I would have imagined. Blanche slams the door. Stanley laughs harshly. Stella comes slowly back. It's that laugh. It's that harsh laugh. It's the vulgarity. The brutality. That's what's going on. Now I'm gonna pause there because the video is quite long. So here now I'll just stop, and then in the next video we'll look at Stanley sounding Stella out for what she thinks, and then Blanche exiting the bathroom, and again it very much almost in a really harshly in a harsh Greek tragedy, that dramatic irony of Blanche coming out and not knowing what's actually been discussed, but reading the horror in Stella's face. In Stella's face makes for an amazing ending to the scene.